listening to The Announcer's Table with Daryl and Ian. This podcast is presented by RingIcon.com, the social networking site for wrestlers, fans, promoters, and everything indie wrestling. Log on today and create your profile, and as always, enjoy the show.
Hey guys, this is Ian.
And I'm Daryl.
Wow, you did it normal this time. Surprising. Well, today is Monday, so that means it is Promotion Builder.
Right.
So, we hinted at it last week. What are we talking about it this week?
I don't know, what are we talking about?
Tag team.
Back again. Check it, directed. Let's begin. Party on, party people. Let's hear some noise. DC's in the house. Jump for joy. Party over here. Party over there. Put your hands in the air. Wait, look there.
Okay. Well, now that we've got,
I'm saying that every time we've said tag teams, I keep saying it.
And, we're going to get blocked by YouTube for copyright infringement. But
yeah, it's better that, because we was trying to record earlier, and he didn't hit the record button. We did a whole segment, and it was great. And then he's like, all right, we'll see y'all next week. And he's like, oh, crap, I didn't record.
Well, this week we're talking about tag teams. Me and Daryl, we're a tag team.
Dysfunctional one.
Yes.
But
not quite in the ring tag team. We're announcer tag team. But for Promotion Builder, what do you think about tag team?
I think that if you're going to have tag titles,
right?
All right, you need to have tag team storylines.
Yes.
All right, they need to be relevant. If not, why have tag team belts?
Right.
Okay. And I'm not a big fan of just putting two random people together unless it makes sense.
Right.
Okay. I like seeing actual tag teams. I like seeing people dressed alike or having a very similar gimmick. I don't want to just see like if somebody's supposed to be like some kind of elitist, with some pig redneck. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't.
Yeah, and one of a really good example of tag teams is up at NEW. I know we reference NEW a lot. It's probably because we're really close to a lot of the guys there.
Yeah.
But they have tag teams that are the hillbilly tag teams, which is just two guys that are hillbillies. The Cocky and Wild tag team where it's Cocky and Wild. They just mesh together really well. Then you have the HCP, which is a stable, but they're also a tag team.
Yeah. Bad Company.
Right.
Their whole gimmick, their masked tag team, their whole gimmick flows together. So
that's just one example. There's a million organizations out there. There's a million tag teams out there. But overall, writing for a tag team is very similar to writing for individuals. You just need to make it make sense for both of the tag teams to work each other.
Absolutely. Because the whole thing is you have typically if you have a couple of titles in an organization, you're going to have a heavyweight title, you're going to have a tag title, and depending on the area you're at, you'll have a ladies title of some sort.
Right.
But that's pretty much it. Some people have other titles, but the titles you do have need to make sense. They need to be, they need to have major storylines. There needs to be, a chaser, or an antagonizer and all that. It just has to make sense. I mean, and kind of dress the belt ups to where they're yours.
Yeah, a lot of organizations use pre-made belts that are usually from WCW or NWA back in the day, or
which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, get your little nameplate put on there, or put some, not like the cheesy stickers, but
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do to spruce up the titles to make them yours, compared to what just using a replica belt.
Yeah, because people aren't going to understand. Like, and then one thing that he and I kind of, it's not that we disagree, it's just like in your ring, have the tag rope.
Right.
I'm a big fan of that, and I said this a couple weeks ago when we was talking about rings, which you should have watched that video too.
Yep.
Where I like it when the babies, they're holding the rope so they can't quite get to their to the partner to make that tag because they got to hold on to this rope and they're all stretched out and and this and that and if they're not holding, the referee tells them to go back to their corner and hold the rope and then in the hills they take that rope and the baby gets shooting to the corner and they like choking them with the rope and stuff like that. But that's really very old school. I have seen the ropes make a comeback of sorts on WWE and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I like them.
And I'm warming up to the idea of the ropes. I mean, just because, like I said previously, is that I grew up in a time period watching WCW and WWF at the time. They didn't really use them or utilize them very often.
Well, because tag teams wasn't
right.
Wasn't a featured part of wrestling. Like they kind of just. It's not that they went away; they just wasn't relevant for so long.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I mean, because the 80s, it was nothing but tag teams almost. So, I mean, that's when you were really watching it, and I was watching it in the late 90s. So, that just is the difference. But I'm warming up to the idea. I like the idea of using it as, an accessory or a
It's only taken me a couple of months to get them on my side.
Right. But, I like the idea of using that. I mean, it adds to the storyline. It can add to your gimmick or your promotion.
And as far as like the promotion goes, is tag teams that you do put together, you want it to make sense. You want it to be for the betterment of the company, for the business, for your promotion, the storyline. You want it to enhance whatever you have going on. I mean, if you're just running like, I wouldn't just throw two people together just to throw two people together so they have a spot on the card.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. Audience, if the regulars are going to be like, why are they teaming or whatever?
Yeah, never just try to fill the card with two people in a tag match. I mean, we've seen it done before, but in some circumstances it happens just because it was such a large crew, or workers. And
they're just trying to get everybody a spot, which I mean is understandable. But I mean, you want it to make sense. It has to make sense for business.
Yeah, I mean it's the same type of thing with battle royal. But I mean, as for tag teams, I mean, basically the idea that we want to get across for promotions is that utilize the tag team for what it is and build that into your story, even creating the tag team into your story. Try not to start them out as just people, have them have a goal to get together instead of just putting it out
if the
there.
storyline has these two people, that are feuding with like these other two people that are a tag team, then it would make sense to kind of start trying to join them.
Right.
And it make the tag teams themselves need to make sense. Like, their styles need to complement each other. Like, either you can have like two high flyers together, or two grapplers together, or you can mix them with high flyer with a grappler. But I mean, it needs to make sense. It need to be able to flow together.
Right.
And so you need to be aware of what the people you're wanting to put together, on what they can do. What you should know what their ability is in a ring and what they're capable of, and if they can carry one another through a match. So because tag team wrestling is very different than just singles wrestling and anything else.
Yes. So I mean, that's pretty much it for promotion builder with tag teams. Tomorrow we're going to talk about gimmick builder with tag teams. We're going to go directly towards your gimmick and your character in developing your tag team. So that's pretty much it for promotion builder, right?
Yep. So. We'll see you tomorrow. Make sure y'all watch.
Yes. Tune in tomorrow.